righty. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Coaches Union. Alex, I haven't seen you in quite some time. How have you been?
You don't know, we've been what's it been, 48 hours?
Yeah, it's been a really long time.
Oh man. Dude, yeah, so what's been going on? Got back from Colorado. Was not behind on work, thank God. Shout out to you guys, my clients, for hanging in there over show weekend. But yeah, that was fun. And honestly, like come Sunday night, I just was like, I'm just gonna keep working because my anxiety just I'd reached my limit. I'm not gonna lie, Chris. I had looked for flights back home Sunday night and there were not any. So like I was just gonna put Austin in my backpack and we were just gonna go. But there weren't any flights that went back. So yeah, we just stayed and worked and did our thing. And now we're back in the groove.
Now we're back. I am playing catch up because I my anxiety didn't hit until yesterday about everything. Um, so that's where we're at. We're playing catch up, a little bit brain dead, but I'm happy to be back in my domain. As much as that was the most fun I've ever had on a trip, I was like Monday afternoon, I was like, I want to be home. I want to be at my gym. I want to be in my domain and my stairmaster and my rice cooker and my bed and all the things in between. Um, do you want to recap and kind of go through the branch and everything?
Yeah, yeah. Before we get started, I want to shout out to that Ty Dustin kid who listens to our podcast. He works for Accent Sledge. I was getting dressed and was like, oh, I like that. I want to shout him out because he is 24. He works in the customer service department for Accent Sledge, and he wants to be a bodybuilder. That is like the ultimate like track for like I want to be involved in bodybuilding. I
Mm-hmm.
want to, maybe see where I can take it, but I also want to have a fucking job.
For
Like,
sure.
dude, the supplement space is so big. Like, why? Like, he is doing. If all my young athletes listening do what Ty Dustin does, please,
Yes.
because that is the way in. Like you can take that experience, you can work your way up. I've seen people work up from the warehouse to customer service to sales to management, and then they're like freaking, CEO, right? So like, I just wanted to say that for a second because he is what, if you want to be a bodybuilder and you need a career to pay your bills to bodybuild, go do that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's one, and also dude's physique is fucking nuts.
Yes.
He sent me pictures on Saturday, and it's I fear for nationals in the future for a lot of
Hmm.
people because they're going to get fucked. Um, but he's doing the right thing, and that I think people assume that okay, I want to go be a bodybuilder full time, therefore I can't have a full time job. But at the end of the day, I have this theory too. The people that we know around us that don't have other jobs that are bodybuilders, I feel their mental health tends to deteriorate the fastest, especially during prep, because they have nothing else to do.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
nothing else to focus on. They have nothing else to pour into. Their whole identity is just this. And like, dude, in between like meals and posing and training, like what is there really to do? Not a lot, right? You like it's not that time intensive in the grand scheme of things. Um, and like don't put your career path on hold when you can do it simultaneously. And again, he's a prime example of that. Like he's very
Yeah.
successful as an athlete.
I manage supplement stores from age 18 to 25.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we started with one, we grew it to four, we ended it with two. But like it's something that you're already in this space anyway. What up and coming bodybuilder, bikini competitor doesn't love supplements and take supplements? Like, go put yourself in that field. Best case scenario, you become a sponsored athlete, you become a pro, you do all these things, and you're already in with a good company. Worst case scenario, you never make it as a bodybuilder. You are very mediocre on stage, but you still get to go to all the cool stuff and you still get to work and be within the fitness space and do all that. So um yeah, I just wanted to like take a second to because he was just on my mind. I was like, man, like that's such a good like avenue to chase, right? And I don't know why more people don't do that. Like instead of asking for the sponsorships, ask to work.
Oh, 100%. I think it's way smarter at the end of the day because everybody and their mom sponsored. Now, Axe and Sledge, if you want to sponsor me, I won't say no.
Yeah, so
Um,
Ty, if you want to put in a word for us,
yeah,
bro.
dude, I like shit. Big fan. Been taking it for a while. But it's like being adjacent to bodybuilding, right? That's how I look at it. Like you're not like the other thing is everybody wanting to be a coach. I think that, and there's a lot within that, but it's too in bodybuilding. I think for some people, that's where they become less successful as an athlete. But if you find something that's just like grazing the edge of it, whether it's like, dude, I've managed GNCs as anybody else has. I've uh, managed gyms, like workout any times before. So like I've been like close enough in it, but not like I just in the neighborhood, not in the house of it. And it kept me enticed enough to want to continue to pursue bodybuilding and felt like I was still in a space that made sense to me. Right. Like go work for a meal prep company.
And here's the thing, work for or be sponsored by a company that you like, that you
Sure.
take their products. And so like obviously yes, like Action Sledge is a big dog in the industry. It's funny, actually I met Seth at the Detroit Pro Am. We were both doing cardio at like 6:30 in the morning. He wanted to obviously get in shape. I had anxiety before the show. So but we were both in there, and if the listeners listening, like you're gonna come across, like you'll see pros and this, that, and the other. How I've learned to, go about it, which you're gonna go about it however you want to go about it as a human. But for me, I always found that because like coming up, like with Will Wise, like he would introduce me to some pros, and I always found that as soon as you ask for a picture, you're just like put in this box as a fan. So like as much as I would have loved to have like gotten a picture with Seth Rosi because he's the fucking man, I took that time to be like, hey, dude, you want to see something cool? And I just started showing him Cali because, like, as much as it's cool to like put meet a fan or somebody, it's even more cool to just talk about bodybuilding, which is what we both love. And you can like kind of bro out for a minute. It's a much more meaningful conversation than to
Yeah.
just like stroke their ego and then them ask you how long you've been training. Like, so that's how I went about it. Um, but going back to like there, dude, you can imagine, like I'm sure you get supplement offers from people. I get supplement offers from people, and it's like it's just stuff that like, yeah, I mean, it'd be cool to have free stuff, but I want a brand that I want to use and I want to give it to my athletes and have them use. Like I've been affiliated with other companies before that I felt bad. Like I wouldn't even really tell my athletes to get it because I'm like, I don't really like it. So that's why you don't see me like with anyone because I've yet to find someone who can meet my standard of like what I deem fit, right? So
Yeah.
that's a huge thing is don't just sell out to the first company that comes to you. Wait for the right company that you genuinely wouldn't mind going and working for a booth, right? Like you don't like I don't want to go to a Celsius booth. Like no disrespect to Celsius, I don't drink Celsius.
Yeah.
But like Axe and Sledge, Rain energy drink, hell yeah, like I will go and be at your booth.
Absolutely.
But yeah, just a little insight on that, and then kind of that avenue to take if you're an up and coming competitor. Look in the supplement space. It is a huge industry.
Yeah. It's I agree with that, man. It's so sad to see like so many people. Like I remember when I got my first offer, I was like, oh my God, like, and of course you want to take it. Like there's still like I'm flattered when I get offered from companies, but to your point, if I've never ordered from you and you offer me a sponsorship, it's very hard for me to consider doing that because I don't even know if I like your stuff. And I know what I like now. There's like three or four brands that I generally gravitate towards and stick to because I trust their quality, and I like the people that are a part of it. And that's really what it is too. Like not only the product, but you got to look at the people involved. Do you fuck with them? Do you want to stand at a booth with them all day? Do you want to be a part of that? Do you want to be represented through them and by them and beside them? And if you don't, what's it? What does it matter, right? I've been sponsored by. I was sponsored by a company for 4 years, and in the beginning, I really loved their ideals and what they stood for. And towards the latter end, it felt very disingenuous for me to be a part of it. So I chose to leave and give up free product and money because it just didn't feel right. I'm going to tell you a really cringeworthy story about the first time I met Brandon Curry
Okay.
because this is what you don't do. Okay. And to Alex's point, like, I think once you realize that these are just people, they're just dudes and chicks, and they just want to talk about shit that's not always about this, right? Like, just treating them with the respect, but understanding that they also wipe their ass the same way that we do and put on pants the same way that we do. It tends to help humanize things. But I still get nervous. Like last time I saw Ian Valier, I almost shit my pants because that's so much human and I didn't know what to do about it. But Brandon, it's 2019. He just won the Arnold like 3 days prior. It was like one of the first times I'd ever went to Olympus when it was cool. And so I'm already starstruck. So I'm 21 years old walking into this dungeon gym and I'm walking towards the back room and I see they have all these like commercial lights set up, like camera lights. And I was like, who the fuck is doing a photo shoot at like 8 a.m. on a Tuesday? And I round the corner and I cannot make my exact words. I turned and I see Brandon Curry eating a Starbucks cake pop. And I said, holy fucking shit, you're Brandon Curry. And then I walked away. That was the whole interaction, right?
Oh
And I
yeah.
was like, as I walk away, I go, that wasn't the right thing to say, I don't think. And so then he's doing his photo shoot. I'm trying not to like pay too much attention, but I'm like, that's so much. That was the first time I've ever seen an open bodybuilder like that big, and especially winning the Arnold. And I was like, I gotta get a picture with him, right? Because I didn't know if I'd ever see him again. And so I'm sitting there, I'm trying to get a pump. I'm trying to make sure I can get the angle right, you know what I mean, with my bullshit arms. And he starts to pack up and leave. I'm like, fuck, dude. Like I can't, I don't want to bother him, but like whatever. And so I'm playing this game of like, tug of war in my head of what to do. And he starts to leave. I'm like, fuck, dude. So I kind of step out of the dungeon. I just go, hey, yo, champ, like as loud as I could. And he turns. I was like, hey, man, can I get a picture with you? Is that cool or whatever? He's like, yeah, dude, for sure. And I was like, really? Okay, cool. So I go to like put out my decent arm, my okay arm,
Mhm.
and he grabbed the fucking wrong one, man. That picture's stupid as shit.
Oh.
Um, but then fast forward, um, this was probably like 3 years later. I was at the other carbon location when he was an owner there, and I was working out on like the Panada incline piece, the one that we used at
Hmm.
Carbon in Franklin. That used to be at the Murfreesboro location.
Okay.
And he came up to me and he was like, "How do you like it?" I was like, "You you want it?" I was like, "I love it, dude. It's great." And we started talking. And we talked for like 45 minutes, and I was like, "Oh, you're just a dude,
Yeah.
like just a really cool guy,
Yeah.
right?" And that's how you just need to treat these people. Is like they're a really cool person. And also, like as much as I would love to have pictures with some of the people that I've met, and I'm not gonna like name drop people because I think it's just kind of bizarre. I like value and cherish that we were able to have organic conversations, man to woman, person to person. And I cherish that more than like to your point, if I just immediately was like, hey bro, can I snag a pic? And then they're like, okay,
Yeah.
this is weird. You know what I mean?
You'll make a lot more real connections that way. And not a connections like, oh, I need to use them for business later, but like a like friendly connection. Like there, like you said, I'm not gonna name drop, but there's like a handful of like big name people I can walk in a room and just say what's up. And like it's a genuine interaction. Um, but yeah, that's dude, how we planned to talk about Colorado and got here.
I don't know.
But here we are. Yeah. So, anyways, if you meet your heroes, don't be weird. If you need a job, if you need a career, look in the supplement space. If you want a sponsorship, wait for a brand that you actually would use their products.
Mm-hmm. So
Anyways,
Branch Warren.
the branch Warren. Let's start off. As soon as we land, I had I had an in-person final that day, and I just messaged my professor and was like, I will not be there. I will literally be on a plane. So there was a window from 12:30 to 2, like Alabama time. And we landed and I had like 50 minutes to start taking the test. So we get to the rental car place and then we just get to a gas station. I go in and heat up a meal because I've got a headache. It's like 1 p.m. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go take the test. So I just pull over and just take the test in the gas station parking lot. Got to be on it, be for the class. Boom, hell yeah. Now I can like actually focus on life. Um, and then the peak continues on, right? And so Galanga, long story short, made weight. He weighed in. His weight cap was 202. We left for weigh-ins at 201.9. Um, I couldn't have nailed it like any harder than that, right? Um, props to me. Don't ask how I did it. I can't give a case study on that one. Um, but one that we left Austin because he was getting ready, fixing his hair. Um, because like at that point, I'm like, hey guys, like I don't care about the 12 people in this freaking house. My athlete has to go make weight. Like I just got in the car and started driving. Um, then we went to train the first night at Armburst, and then I'll let you take over the story from there.
Um, yeah. So wait, no, because we trained Thursday night.
I'm
You got
talking,
your
did we? We did. Damn it.
We trained Thursday night.
Okay.
It's
Yep.
all a blur at this point, and I wasn't even the one peeking him, and it was a blur for me. The whole
All right.
fucking trip was.
Go
So
back. We're still on Thursday. We haven't weighed in yet.
we're on Thursday. So I we get in later than you guys did
Mhm.
because of Southwest. I had to sit very back row, middle seat. That fucking sucked so bad, so bad. And I had to pee for the last hour and a half, but I couldn't get up to go pee. And so I finally, dude, we're taxiing. And I looked at the flight attendant. I said, ma'am, I know that I'm not supposed to get up, but I also don't want you to have to clean up my pee off the floor. Can I please go use the restroom? Dude, it was like a 3 minute pee. It was a world record, I think. Um, get in town, go get groceries, go to the Airbnb, set up. We go to the gym, we train chest. Um, you looked at me and you didn't hate what you saw. That was my win of the day. I was pretty happy with it too. And you gave me more food, and that was super sick. So went to dispensary as we expect, and then Friday. So
Hold on.
Friday was when.
Hold on.
Hold on.
We're missing a key moment.
What,
Your boy posed down.
oh, Alex posed down, and he looked 4 weeks out, and might be. Who knows? I don't know. It looks, fuck, dude, it looks so cool. Like you literally could do, and that's why I'm like, it's so impressive. And I hope as I continue to grow in this sport and as a human, that I can just kind of be the striking distance person as well when it
Yeah.
comes to conditioning.
You,
Um, yeah, dude, you looked really fucking good.
it caught me by surprise. Like I know I've been like on my shit here lately and really pushing. Like not like anything. I haven't done anything like different training wise, like more cardio. I've just been locked in. Like I don't miss anything.
Yeah.
But when I was like, I mean, I had a hell of a session. It could have been the 10 milligrams of halotestin I took before the session. Just
Why
to
didn't you give me fucking Halo?
didn't tell you guys about it. Look, man, y'all all outweigh me. Y'all all are out like stronger than me. Give me my one lane. Um, so
Would have been
yeah,
so
dude,
fun.
I was so amped up. I was like, I think I'm gonna jump in the Vulcan, and I was like, I'm gonna pose.
I was there for it. I was like, dude, let's do it. Let's fucking do it.
I haven't posed since 2021. I haven't done full like rounds of posing. But dude, it was cool just to see y'all like see me. Obviously, like, yes, y'all are all better and bigger than me, but I wanted to, because I was the first to pose out of the group, and I wanted it to light a fire under y'all's ass, which is a lot of why I did it. And then I also wanted y'all to know, like, if I really wanted to, like, I could still do this with y'all.
Oh,
And I,
dude.
and I think that, like, because then after that, all y'all were like locked in on your pose. Like, so I wanted to do that. But yeah, and then Austin took that picture of me, and I was like, oh shit, like that's it's not bad. I'm not gonna say like, the big scale, scheme of things, no, I'm not impressive. But like for me and what I do, like I was like, that's pretty damn good.
You were fucking
Um,
good. I had, there were so many moments where Austin would take a picture of me and I'd go, there ain't no damn way. There ain't no damn way.
yeah.
So Friday, went and weighed in Galanga. I got to meet a French bulldog named Uno because he was born with one testicle. So that was really cool. I miss you, Uno. And his mom was competing. I hope she did well. And then we went and trained legs. That was a phenomenal leg workout.
Ooh, yeah,
Like
that was
phenomenal.
cool.
I learned how to lying hamstring curl 12 years into my career.
You're welcome. Yeah. I thought you had a leg curl. I thought Riley had a leg curl. I thought Riley had a hack squat.
Yeah.
But and so what I was explaining to her was it's the little precise things that like y'all do such a good job on intensity and effort and dying on the set, but like you have to have that precision there with it and understanding like I was talking to Riley about it as it's not just about dying on the set. It's like each rep as it gets hard it needs to get harder and that cadence and that tempo needs to stay the same, and that's where that like psychotic intensity and anger and whatever pisses you off digs in. Because we can move the weight up and down, but like I need it to be burning, shaking, like
Hmm.
this fucking sucks. Like we almost made her cry.
Oh,
um,
100%.
I
100%.
really wanted a tear to come out.
She was close, dude. She was close. I'm saying she's a fucking dog in the gym. Um, but so got to learn a lot, and I'm excited to like apply it to my training over the next forever. And then because I think I can still make massive improvements just with the shit that you showed me this weekend. Um, and then what else did we do Friday night? So we didn't eat yet. You'd given me extra food, pulled back my cardio. Um,
Friday night
and then
we just I don't remember. We
I think we
always
just hung out, looked at Galanga, and just tried to chill. And then
yeah, because it was late as fuck. Remember? And then we hung out in the kitchen till like 1 a.m.
yeah, I got like 4 hours of sleep. That was awesome. I'm just getting like pre-trained for the coming weeks. I've got a show this weekend and every other fucking weekend forever.
Mhm.
Um, and then Saturday was show day. So if you want to kind of hop in on that, the venue I loved. I don't know if we got to talk about it. I really enjoyed the venue.
The venue was great. Yeah, so we and I won't go into the peak week, a lot of the peak week details, but I'll be honest, this was one of the best peaks I've ever ran. In terms of like holding him. So I brought him, he flew out at 205. We weighed in at 201.9, got him back up to 204 for show day. Um, and then so like you don't have a big window to feed him, right? And so I just remember like so Friday night we're in there and that's when we did all the first round of pictures and we were running through the mock pump up and I just fed him a ton of food. And I was anticipating feeding him a lot more food again before bed. Um I pulled out some things that were fun for that. Um but dude, I just remember, man, like it was like 11 o'clock. It was right before we posed. And I was like, I don't know where anyone was at this moment. I was just laying on the floor, meditating, listening to Halsey on repeat. Like I was just like, y'all probably thought I was asleep or something, but I was just so zoned in on like there was so many different options in my head on what I had thought about doing. Had I done the right steps to get them to where we are? What am I about to see? Is it about to be what I expect? Like, how am I going to counter it? It's all this stuff. And then we looked at them, and I just was like, here's a picture of me on Instagram, like just smiling. Like I was had such a big, just like relief there. I was like, man, I fucking nailed it. Then he woke up the next morning and was even better. Um, Managed his fluid a bit. He was up like in weight, so I didn't have to feed him as much, show day morning, which is what I wanted. Um, those Chick-fil-A cookies were the icing on the cake.
Always, bro. Always.
And so yeah, I'll let that little tidbit slip. And then show morning, Galanga's bang on. He looks incredible, and he goes out. It's a good. The venue is great. Branch is really short, but still jacked and the most intimidating. Like he said for someone like, "Hey," and like just to get his attention, and I was like, "Oh God, like don't." Yeah, I was like, "Sorry, dude." Um, the venue was great. They let us like basically go backstage. Like we were as close to getting backstage as we could for no reason. Like they could have told us all like fuck off, which at other states they would have. But there they were super cool. They're yeah, sure, like do whatever, just don't go behind the curtain. I was like, yes, that's totally fine. Um, and Galanga was bang on, dominated both his classes pretty easily. But there was a freak of a light heavyweight, and then he was open class B in classic. And dude, like structure wise, and he was on in the morning. Like he looked good. I want to ask your opinion, and I don't want to put you on the spot, but do
Mhm.
you think you could beat him?
Yes.
I think so too.
I think on, yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think your legs would have hung with him. I think your back relaxed, your back double like you. I think you have enough density and depth to hang to have hung with him and beat him for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
I think when I was looking at him, I was taking notes. You know what I'm saying? Of like where, and it was stuff that we've already discussed, like regarding like ab training and shit. We talked about Thursday night. Like I was like, okay, I see where I gotta catch up. You know what I mean? Or feel like there might be lost ground because I could see where my holes were compared to his.
mhm.
Um, he was exceptional. But Andrew was too, and that's where it's like this is a hard thing to figure out in the sense of like the other thing I want to say too. I was going to say earlier, like I feel like Andrew once he holds a peak so well,
Mhm.
like dude, it just holds, and I think it's because he doesn't stress.
He was
The
so
dude is
chill.
bro. He is one of the most like stoic, just like fucking goes with it. I've never seen him stressed in my life, and
Yeah.
that's like I think a very important skill to learn as an athlete. And he just listens and does, and just goes, okay, cool, and like so he was bang on. I think if I'm looking at the night show, and this is where things are a little bit challenging because they didn't rejudge at finals.
Not even so like when we say rejudge, they didn't judge the overall.
No,
They
they already knew
just
it.
yeah.
They already knew it. And an open, understandable, the super was very fucking good. Well, I say not understandable, but like they're going to pick the big guy, right? Classic is where the guy we're talking about, and again, props to him. He looked phenomenal.
He's
Um,
amazing. Yeah.
and he was the fan favorite. He was the crowd's favorite. He got like the best poser award and everything else. And he did not come back as good. I
Mhm.
think we flattened out a little too much. You know, could have been a Diazide, could not have been. I don't know. It's kind of what it looked like. And he started sweating really bad.
Yeah.
And that's when they stopped posing.
Mhm.
They were like, done.
Yeah, and again, I don't think even if they had like did rounds on them, I don't think it was the discrepancy of size and depth was just too much between the two for us to have won it regardless. But I will say yes, at the night show he came back very off. He left the door open. If they had posed them, I don't think it would have changed, but I think it would have exposed his holes even more. Um, because honestly, if he was bang on, he could have beaten that super. Like I really do think he could have. And I think that's where they judge bodybuilding first. I think like, okay, look, the super was on. Like he looked great. So
He
it's
was
like,
good.
okay, dude's 250 with striated glutes. He's gonna win. Light heavies, it's fine. He's gonna win classic, and we're just gonna go about our business. Because those were the two overall best physiques there. Andrew was just at his personal best that day. And Andrews was like, and that's the frustrating part, right? You're 100%, your physique still isn't better than the other guy's physique, but you're displaying it better. Your posing's better. And not routine or whatever, but like your quarter turns and all that. Like conditioning was better. It's just still not enough.
And it's hard because like I can argue for both cases
Hmm.
of who would win. Like I think Andrew was more complete head to toe. I think his conditioning and density was and muscle maturity was superior. That guy just had like a wow factor to him, especially at the morning. So when he first walked out, I was like, God damn. So I hope he's
Yeah.
not doing classic. And he came up for classic. I said, shit,
Yeah, I
you
said the
know?
same thing. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, what can you do? And to me, that's where it's like apples and oranges. And that's where it comes back to the subjectivity of the sport. I wasn't super stoked with like, yeah, I was happy with the pace of finals because we could get in and get out, but I wanted to see these guys get worked. I wanted to see their beat at least because there were also some judging calls. You remember that? I think he was a super, that black guy, dude. He came back good enough to move up.
Yeah. Did he get third?
Third or fourth. I think he could have moved to like the 2-3 spot for sure.
Okay. Because I didn't have him winning, but
I didn't have him winning either.
he definitely got better. But yeah, it was just and Jack's. posed like he's posed people down before, like Andrew in particular, where he worked them. And so after prejudging was over, like I knew that it was on. Like I knew we were about to throw down. I was okay, good. Like we can beat this guy if we expose him, right? And so like I only got Andrew better for the night show. The other guy got worse in terms of conditioning, like his physique was still amazing. Um, and I just was preparing Andrew to pose his ass off because you could see it. That other guy, as he posed, he did get worse. He couldn't hold his midsection, he couldn't pull vacuums. And so I just thought, like, okay, well, if there's a chance of us beating him, it's because we're just going to outwork him. And that's where that picture came from. Because, dude, I took about 45 seconds and just lit into Andrew's ass. It's one of the most fun coaching moments I've had. Because those who don't know, like Andrew, like popped something in his calf. I think he strained something in his calf in prejudging. Before, like while he was pumping up, he texted me. He was like, "Ah, I just popped something." I was like, "Yeah, don't worry about it." You could see it was bothering him in the morning, but that night show, he didn't give a shit, and that's because I basically told him not to. Um, but yeah, overall it was a hell of a show. I didn't pay attention to any of the females, just because bodybuilding went first, as they should, and then classic went, and then we got out of there. Shout out to the 3:30 start time for finals. That was
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
I mean, we got to the first spot for dinner at what, 7?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like
I love how we said,
Shackford.
I love how we said first spot too.
Yeah, so so to paint the picture, I'm in a house with like every single person I coach, in what was it, you, Abby, um, Austin, and then Tyler, basically, like all y'all are like in prep phases, and Gabby. So it's like, or about to start prep phases. So it's like, okay, like, I give y'all a cheat meal. Like, y'all are still dieting, but I'm like, all right, we get a free meal. And then, like, of course, no one wants pizza, but who are we to say Andrew can't go eat pizza?
Sure.
I'm in the car. He's like wanting to appease everybody else. Says, dude, fuck, like, we'll all go with you. And then, like, we'll just go get more food after for what they want. And that's exactly what we did. Like, y'all ended up at McDonald's and In-N-Out, and we ended up at Five Guys, and then we had pizza, and then we bought like 15 pieces of cheesecake, and then it was just madness in our Airbnb for a little bit.
Dude, the amount of, because I took out all the trash yesterday. The
Bruh.
amount, dude, 15 bags
Yeah.
full in
Yeah.
5 days.
Dude, I've never felt more like a dad. Like dude, I know I'm gonna kill it as an actual dad because like taking care of y'all motherfuckers is a full-time job. And I didn't even
What do you
do,
have to do with me?
buddy, make sure you're eating your food.
I
Make
was in front of you.
Make sure, yeah, I know, in front of me. Make sure that everyone gets where they're going on time. Make sure everyone knows where the directions are. And then dude, all y'all are asking me to watch you. Hey, will you look at me real quick? Like
You're
seven
my
times.
coach.
I know. But
That's
I
what we signed up
wanted
for.
I wanted to be like, I just saw you yesterday, Chris.
I kept getting better, Alex.
I know.
I kept getting better. We Lewis and Clark that bitch together. I had a rental, dude. I had to carry Trey around.
Bro, I know. Look, I'm not saying who had it worse.
Damn neck's red now, dude. I'm
I'm
pissed.
I'm just saying when people are like, well, "Are you having fun?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a little anxious right
Oh,
now."
dude, it was a lot. 11 people in one. Like, dude, the fact that I was stress cleaning should tell you enough. Like, I just
Dude,
like walked in there and I was just like, this is such a disaster to look at.
yeah, because we would take like all of us at one point did the dishes, loaded the dishwasher, like self-cleaning, all that. It was just like we all eat 5 meals, 6 meals a day, and then we all would eat at the same time. And so it goes from like clean, 37 dishes, clean, 37 dishes, no spoons, no forks, clean. I mean, it's like it was utter chaos, to say the least.
And
But
half the people were cooking fish and shrimp the whole time.
bro, my hoodie smelled like fucking cod. I was like, guys, y'all get some candles. Like it was fun, but by 5 o'clock on Sunday, after Sunday's training session, I said no one asked me to look at them for the rest of the trip
Yeah.
because like I've looked at y'all multiple times today, and everyone looks great, and I love it, and it's fun, but like I'm done. Like I do actually kind of want to breathe for a second, like in the Colorado air and not coach.
Dude, the elevation was interesting. I'm also going to move. I'm going to re rank In and Out. Okay. Because I had In and Out 2 years ago when I flew to Anaheim. I was jet lagged. I don't know. And it wasn't good. And so I was like, what's the hype? I went back and I had two 3x3s. I got fries from McDonald's because I didn't want In and Out fries. I will move In and Out into, because it didn't hurt my digestion, I move it above Shake Shack in my ranking. So it's in the three spot.
What's two?
Burger Up, and then Jack Brown's is number
Where's
one.
Burger Up?
Don't worry about it. Just 12 South. Dude, it's really fucking good. Because I have to
Jack
like,
Brown. What do you get at Jack Brown's?
ooh, I usually just get the one that has barbecue sauce and bacon and fucking. I usually get that one.
Do you get a? Do you, they're just too small for me.
Oh, I'm getting two of them.
Yeah, they're still too small. Like I want a third patty on it or something.
Well, I think you can do that. I
Yeah.
just like I start there because my goal is like with the free meals, the variety. So it's like two burgers, fries,
Okay.
and then I can go get a couple cookies.
Okay.
But if I
You're
get three burgers, I'm not getting cookies, and I want cookies.
Yeah, that's fair. I think I don't like the anxiety of going into a Jack Brown's.
Oh, dude, it's a fucking panic attack.
That's what I think that's what turns me off the most. Like if I could go to Jack, because like, dude, I go to Five Guys at usually between 8 and 9 p.m. every Sunday. They know me. I get free fries. They don't charge me for extra anything. And but like no one's in there. And I think that's the most comforting thing because I don't like being around people. So Jack Brown's, it's like in the heart of downtown, like down in Lakeview, and it's just like there's just tons of people. There's like small spaces at the bar to order, and like, yeah, I'm getting anxiety now just thinking about it. So
Yeah, I'm sorry to trigger you. I just want to include that in there because I ate two 3x3s and then looked insane and actually used the bathroom. So
yeah,
that was pretty cool.
yeah,
And then we trained back on Sunday. I think that was one of the best back workouts of my life. I felt like a fucking lunatic in there. I wish you would have given me Halo, but it's fine.
look, we did arms. We did arms on Saturday.
We did arms. I learned some shit. Arms still need to
Taught
grow,
Neely how to train arms.
which is so weird.
He's got, dude, yeah, the amount of like training education I did over this weekend, I was like, God,
It was
what
a
am
seminar.
I doing? Yeah.
It was just like a piece together
Yeah.
seminar of like, hey,
But
this is wrong, dumbass.
I tried that. Like, I tried to make sure I trained with everybody so I could show y'all something.
Yeah,
It was like, while we are best friends, a lot of times, like, we just get together and train just to fucking train.
for sure.
And like, I want to just let loose and train when I'm with y'all. Like, I want to feel like me a couple years ago. Uh,
Yeah.
but that back session was killer. That was when we took, for those listening, that was when we took pictures together and I looked pretty good. So,
I don't know that my back has ever been fuller in my entire life
yeah,
than it was for 45 minutes after that workout when we couldn't find Austin Colvin to take a picture of it.
yeah.
I'm not mad, but
But,
kind of peeved.
yeah.
Kind of peeved.
Dude's in the bathroom on Snapchat, and we're like, all right, man, like we could really,
Like, dude, it's been an hour and a half. We all want to go home at this point. A fuck picture.
yeah,
Yeah. But that was, I will say the one thing about Colorado, everything is 35 minutes away. Everything.
everything, yeah.
Everything.
Um, but
And
it's the most beautiful,
oh,
calming drive you can have. So like I
well,
wasn't stressed.
unless you have Trey Davis in your backseat ripping ass with the windows up.
Dude,
Out,
he's not allowed in my car
not
ever.
allowed in
He's
mine, not now.
barely allowed in my house.
Dude, he's not allowed in my car anymore, man.
Yeah.
Um, went to Breckenridge. That was I when I tell you, dude, like I cannot put into words. Like I'm not even playing. I got like teary eyed for a second at how incredible the view was driving there.
Really?
Dude, I'll send you the pictures. They don't do it justice. Like you go through this tunnel, it's probably like a half a mile long. And when you come out, dude, it is just the Rocky Mountains. It's everything.
Yeah.
There's a lake. I mean, it looked like a fucking Bob Ross painting. It was incredible. Um, and then the elevation of up there, 45-minute walk. I had to take a nap because we were talking. We're like, we're gonna go walk. We'll go see things. Andrew will get some food. We'll come back. We'll train shoulders and arms. Dude, we all made it back to the car. Neely pulled up beside me. He's like, "No, we're not training." I was like, "I'm not
Yeah.
either. I'm going to fucking bed, dude."
Yeah, dude, we trained like 4 days in a row. That was way too much.
But it was so much fun. I can't not like. I
Yeah,
got a week past the arm rest. I'm using it no matter what. I ran into one of my best friends from high school, which was super cool. Like, what are the odds of that?
that
So it was
was.
great. Shout out Nick. Um,
I had a
yeah,
buddy, Ben, yeah, I had a buddy Ben out there. He's a mutual friend. That was cool. Got me in for free. I was like, that's awesome.
that is super cool.
But yeah, overall it was fun, dude. I want to go back. Like, definitely not with the whole group, but like maybe, me and you kind of, tag team it and go. But like just go and like obviously train and stuff, but like I want to go and like see more stuff. I want to ski. Like I want
Yeah,
to have some fun in Colorado.
for sure. I guess we'll answer questions now.
Yeah, I guess we'll just get off this phone conversation and just
Colorado's sick. Um, yeah, I would love to go back. I don't know. I could see myself living there potentially, but also everything was so spread out.
I could have a vacation home there, but definitely.
Absolutely. Absolutely. First question we got was regarding jerseys and if Bo Jackson is anabolic. Yes,
Yeah, I bought you that jersey. So yeah.
you did.
Yeah. Um,
Love it.
that was when I wore the Dion jersey, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
And then
Oh,
dipshit tried to make fun of us for it.
yeah. Look at you now, dude, on fucking Goob, you
Yeah,
loser.
he's got goobed. So who's the loser now?
Sorry I don't wear a youth medium, or I would have got you one too, buddy. Um, Not like you have Wi-Fi at your mom's house to even watch this, um, but that just came to mind. I have a New Jersey I now have to get for another show.
Ooh,
I already have your show day shirt picked out, so it unfortunately won't be for yours. But um, that Barons jersey went hard.
it did.
I got a lot of compliments on that,
It went
and
super good.
I was iffy on like wearing it. I was iffy on how to wear it. Um,
Mm,
Definitely the unbuttoned was the move though.
sure.
Um, yeah, so I was proud of myself for that.
I wish we got a picture together, dude, because my outfit was ignorant as fuck.
Yeah,
I had
yeah,
a shirt that said I feel like Chief Keef in 2012.
yeah. I don't know. We didn't get one because on like at the it was weird how like we won two classes and the vibe was still like a little like right.
Yeah,
So I think that's why we didn't get pictures. And then trying to just get pictures after the show was a disaster.
dude. It when I tell you, dude, it legitimately brought a tear to my eye
Mhm.
watching. So this venue was at like a sports arena. So there was like hockey and a bunch of other stuff, right? So there's a bunch of youth sports shit going on at the same time, and watching these kids just be enamored by Andrew. Like
Mhm.
I'm telling you, I watched a kid. When I went back in to find you all, this kid went up to his dad. He's like, "Dad, you have to see this guy. He's got more muscles than everybody." And I was like, "Bro, that's the shit that matters to me. Some kid looks
Yeah,
up to you,
yeah.
you know?"
Um, Dude, yeah, I had that experience with that. Did you see that girl I posted? Rolled with that one, that jujitsu.
Yeah,
Posted. Dude, I had the same like kind of thing with her. Like, one, it's got to be hard, and this is totally off topic, but fuck it, that's the theme of this episode. Um, it's hard for one, just a female to find good training partners, right? But then she's like 13 years old, so it's also hard for her to find. It's hard to find someone to like take you serious, but then like train with you, like hard and like push you. We got done and like she asked for a picture with me. Her dad like thanked me and was like, she's like, he was like, she said you're like her top three. Like, could you please come back? Like, we'll make it work. But like paying it forward like that, or like just little things that like people look up to you, then you have no, most of the time you don't even realize it. But like those kids, one of those kids is gonna leave and be a bodybuilder one day, and Andrew has no idea.
that's insane.
So that was really cool.
That's what
Uh,
the legacy's about, dude.
yeah.
I think that's what this is all about at the end of the day. And then like those kids who came up want to get a picture with them. Like, dude, that's the cool shit. Like, yeah, like obviously we wanted more, right? I wanted Andrew to win for both y'all's sake because I think you guys as a team are deserving of that. And like this also kind of goes back to how expectations and pressure. is something that you have to be accustomed to if you want to excel in the sport, because that was what I expected Andrew to win his class. So when he did, I was like, yep, he looks the best. That's how it should be, you
Yeah.
know? And,
And
and I think that's something that it's challenging to understand as athletes. Like as you get better, it just gets harder in different ways. And a lot of that is around expectations.
yeah, and I needed, that's why we went out there because we needed depth to a show, right? Like it's freaking awesome to win an open heavy and open classic class. Like that's really good.
For
But like
sure.
the same weekend there was the Louisiana State show and there was like 24 people in it. So I could have gone there and won the whole fucking thing. Um,
Twice. Yeah.
yeah, could have gone. I could put him in the Vulcan that right now has 19 people signed up for tanning. Like I could put him in that and win that. Like so it's like what do you rate your like worth? Is it the win or is it the look or is it like did you go compete? And for Andrew going to Junior Nats, I needed him to compete. And that's what I told him going in that night show. Um, Openly told him, like, not our private conversation was like, yeah, man, like, there's going to be five of him in the top five at Junior Nats. So, like, you need to be prepared to stand next to people that are good. So, um, all in all, it was a great weekend. It was a lot of fun with you guys. Um, I'm ready for the next show because me and you are traveling to some shows together soon. I'm more excited for that. It's a little more tighter knit, a little less, it's just a little less chaos around us. Because like I need to breathe after I put people on stage for a minute. Like,
There's less there's less maintenance and upkeep with us. We just
yes.
towards each other, right? Like I know, like when you're not talking, I don't talk to you, and vice versa. And it's not weird. It's just like I'm like just fucking, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I asked Riley, I was like, can I sit by Chris right now? And like I don't think we spoke. I just needed to sit by you. Like I
Yeah,
just needed
yeah,
to just be there with you. God, we're gay. But yeah,
we're cute.
it's just part of it, man. But yes, going forward, traveling, I'm really looking forward to. We've got some sick shows coming up, but
Yeah, dude, we got like 4 shows together
yeah,
coming up.
the
It's
jerseys. I'll touch on the jerseys. You have to have that energy to look good in a jersey, like for real. And I'm not trying to stroke either one of our egos, but like me and you can pull it off. Josh can pull it off. Like when Josh wore his Mark McGuire jersey, like I was like, oh, that's fucking dope. Or excuse me, the Jose Canseco jersey. But like you see some people that can't pull it off and it's like just stay in your lane like your body has to match that energy and like
for sure.
that's why I'll wear some of the things I wear because I bring some type of energy in with me and I can get away with it and it doesn't look like I'm stupid.
Dude, it's always for me, it's like there's some symbolism behind it. Or like the cryptic pictures we post on our stories the day of show day. It's like I'm pulling from fucking, Dennis Rodman tends to be the one that I pull from because I not emulate, but I resonate with a lot of how he carried himself, right, as an athlete. Or like it might be Michael Jordan, or it might be Bo Jackson, or it might be whoever, but it's like Tom Hardy. It's whatever, just in that moment. Like there's like 3 places I'm bringing ego to, and 2 of them are the gym and the fucking show day. The third one's bedroom, and that's it. Outside of that, I'll be as humble as I can be and choose to be. But in those moments, like I'm gonna be a bad motherfucker too, because I have to lead. I
Yeah,
gotta lead to make sure that, because if I don't feel like a bad motherfucker, my athlete's not gonna feel like one either.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So that's like where it comes in. As like cliche as that might sound to some people, I don't give a fuck because I love it. I'm like, this is my show day uniform. This is what I'm bringing today. And that's kind of why we've been doing this for the way that we do it. Because it's like I resonate with greatness and I like greatness. Therefore, I want to bring that with me. And the way I do it is through what I fucking wear.
yeah. And it's funny you say that because I literally said that like the other day. I was like, hey, look, you can tell me like I need control on things, show days and in the bedroom. Anything else, cool, do what you want. But like those are my two. So like same with the like what we wear, what we post, it's it puts an extra pressure on me. Like
Mm-hmm.
it when I post the pictures of the night before prejudging, I'm putting an expectation on myself where now I have to deliver. If I'm going to
Yes.
put up an arrogant cryptic story, it hypes me up because I have so much that I want to express. I have so much that I want to say, and I'm not good verbalizing things at times, or sometimes I just don't need to say it because it's just not appropriate. Like people would look at me like I'm fucking crazy. Um, but if I can just find an image that's like I can, put symbolism with that to me, and I can look at it throughout the day, like it reminds me that like, hey, like keep that energy, keep that energy. And then same thing with the shirts. It might someone might see me and be like, oh, why is he wearing a, whatever shirt? And because that's all they see is the shirt. But to me, that is a reminder that everywhere I go, that every picture that I'm in, that I look down or whatever's going on, I keep whatever energy that is keeping me on top of my game that whole day. And
Mhm.
that's why I do it. That's why I don't change. It's because it's like you said, it's a uniform. And I'm like, I'm not getting dressed up for the night show. I'm not doing this. Like, I'm keeping my energy this exact same all fucking day. I don't care whose mom or dad's there. I don't care if you're significant other, what they think. I don't like, I'm rocking me. And because you, as your coach, you want me on my shit. Like you want me feeling myself. Like you want me making those calls and having that confidence. The worst thing I could do is show up to a show, not making a post, not wearing something I wanted to wear, and say, yeah, yeah, I'm here. Like, let's see what happens. Like it's about to be a long day if Alex shows up like that.
Yeah, yeah. Like we got to be. It's like eh, being a leader. It's like you can feel. It's like that. The analogy of like being the captain of a ship and wearing a red shirt. So if you get shot and bleed, nobody sees it.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like your crew can't see that shit, bro. Like they don't get to see the anxiety and the fear and all this shit. Like we've been around each other enough. I know when you're stressed and you know when I'm stressed, but
Yeah.
nobody else gets to experience that because they don't need to. That's like we can talk about it after the fact or whatever. But like in that moment, you just need to see me as he's on, he's stoic, he's confident, and he's confident in me and himself. We're fucking good.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. Everything else can be talked about after the fact.
Dude, yeah, and I'll have headphones with me at some shows, and I'm just like, if it's a long wait, and I'm just like, I block everything out. I'm just in a whole other world. But yeah, that's why we do that is because it just helps us stay on our A game.
100%. And like you said too, man, it's my favorite. One of the favorite things you've ever said is like you want your athletes to see you as like a secret weapon.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. I want them to be like, no, I got this dude with me. I'm fucking good.
Yeah, like that's what I want more because at the end of the day, like they calm down and relax because I'm there. And they're like,
Mhm.
okay, like a coach has got it. Yeah, whatever you say. But dude, it's cool. It's cool to see like you and Austin or Andrew, like y'all now start like looking for show day shirts and y'all start looking for like game day photos and like, all that. And so it's cool that what I just started doing myself, like y'all pick up on it and are like, no, that's what we're about to do too. And
Yeah.
it's because y'all don't like say it or y'all don't tell me like, oh, Alex, go look at it. Y'all just do it. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that's what's up,
Yeah,
man.
bro.
Yeah.
Because it's the easiest way, man. Because it's like I'm not gonna come out and like, because I'm gonna post some shit that you might have to think about, and you're like, oh shit. Like when I posted like the training day, the one from training day
Mhm.
for Levi and Mary's show, I was like, I know what today is, dude. I
Yeah.
had that shit ready at 4:30 in the morning. I was like, I know what today is,
Yeah.
you know.
It's fucking-
But yeah, man, I love it, dude. Like being, I'm like itching to go train right now. But seeing people, I was telling Riley this, dude. When I was watching people on stage, I was about to like crack my teeth. I was gritting them, so I was like, I want to be if they're so fucking bad, like
Good.
so bad.
That's where I want you.
That's why I love show days. That's why I'm happy that I have so many leading up to my shows because it's like, dude, it just like lights a fire under my ass. Um, Here's one. Why do people rush into preps before building a physique first? Clout,
They're
or they
impatient.
think clout.
Yeah, they see Instagram and TikTok and they're like, oh, I can do that. And they have their experience level is 6 months, or they've ran one cycle of SARMs or one cycle of Anavar, and they just think like, oh, I'm gonna do this show. Can you help me get ready? And they're like 9 weeks out, and their training is poor. Their diet is they're still eating Quest bars or whatever the Anabar or whatever the new bar is these days, and but they just think that like it's just so easy to do. And it's like you don't
Mhm.
have a foundation yet. Like there's so many athletes that come to me and I'm like, can you give me a year? And part of me like used to feel like I felt weird about it because it's like, man, like I don't want them to think that like I'm trying to just sell them to be with me for a long time. But it's like, hey, what do you want to do? Like, do you want to be good or do you just want to get lean? Because like I can get you lean and you'll look like a string bean, but you'll have abs. Like you're not gonna win. Like this is bodybuilding.
It's like we could just get lean and not waste money on the show and your reputation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's different, but yeah, I think why they do it is they're just impatient and they're just not realistic with themselves.
Absolutely. I think again, everybody sees it and everybody has a why for competing. And there's been, I think every reason is valid in its own sense. It doesn't mean that it's going to carry you far. And we also can see what's put, I can look on stage and know what their why is or how deeply rooted their why is based on the physique they present on stage. Like you can tell the dudes who like this is their entire livelihood and everything about it. And you can tell the people where it's like, my buddies told me I could compete a few months ago. So I took some Anavar and I want to go see if I can get some chicks or whatever the fuck it is. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody who's in this knows it and sees it. And that's fine. Some people have to lose. Someone has to lose, right? I just don't care for it to be me or my people.
Yeah.
And so that's why we don't just jump into shows, right? And again, my goal as a coach is to protect people in the sense of like I didn't have someone with my best interest in their heart that I'd put my trust and faith into, and I was wronged, right? And I know what that feels like, and I don't want anybody to experience that under my watch. So I'll very quickly tell someone like, "Hey, let's wait
Yeah.
for both of us because it's just better that way, and it will make sense if you just ride it out. And if you don't want to ride it out with me and trust in that, go to someone else, and I promise you the outcome's going to be. I just watched it happen to this kid. He did a natural. He reached out to me a few months ago. Hey, I want to compete. He's a college kid. He's probably like 5'10", 160, 170 pounds, right? And I'm like, hey, man, you need a year and a half, couple years to grow. Let's just wait. No, the people at my gym said I could compete in 10 weeks. Okay, well, I'm telling you that you can't, and you probably shouldn't. And so he goes and does a prep and he gets dead last. And he looked the same as when he started because he also hired a terrible coach who said he could go do it, right? And it's like that could have been avoided like so fucking easily, and it's so stupid. But people don't want to hear that. They want to hear, oh yeah, I know you can do a show in 6 weeks, because
Yeah.
their ego wants to know, okay, well maybe I am kind of good at this.
Yeah, I had a call with a girl yesterday and she was like, I want to do this show in June. And I was like, not with me. Like, and
Oh,
I have to go into those phone calls knowing that they may not even give me a dollar for what I'm about to say, but
mm-hmm,
because of what I'm about to say.
mm-hmm.
And I tell them that straight. I'm like, hey, look, you might get off the phone, but I'm going to someone else. And I'm like, and that's all in your right. But if you want to get on stage with me coaching you, you are not ready. You need more time. You need more this, you need more that. 9 times out of 10, they're usually in agreement. Sometimes they're like, I'm just going to do it anyway. And I'm like, okay, I'm like, good luck. They never become anything from anecdotally speaking, from what I've seen, they usually end up dropping out or they do the show and then they quit. Um,
Well, here's the other thing I wanted to say too, from a business perspective, because I've had this before where people think, hey, if I'm telling you you need a year, it's because I'm trying to get you to buy into me for a year, right? And that it's just like a slow roll money grab. Okay. One, we talked about it before. I just posted a transformation today, right? I'm very proud of it. That's 6 months to get my ROI on it.
mhm.
You see what I'm saying? Like it's taken 6 months for me to produce a transformation that is noteworthy, to explain what we've done, to showcase the work that we've done, to hopefully attract someone else to also come by.
Yeah.
Right. So if I'm telling you, hey, we need a year, year and a half, I'm extending my ROI to 18 months before I can finally showcase and say, look what we did.
Yeah.
Right. That is actually the opposite, because what most, and this is one of the questions we got about biggest mistake with young coaches, most will go, oh shit, I could put someone on stage, maybe they do okay, and then I can get more clients, and they'll put them in a rinky dink pussy show, and then they get more clients. It's that dipshit that got goobed was that guy. right?
Yeah.
And so with that, it's like as much as it hurts, or maybe not hurts, it's not fun to hear. It's coming from a place of genuine care and concern. I will tell a stranger, whether, again, to your point, whether they sign up with me or not, this doesn't make sense for you
Yeah.
because I care about you. It's not for any of my ulterior motives. I don't have any. I just want to see you okay, wherever that may be. And that's what I think separates us from a lot of people.
Yeah, dude, I say this all the time. I'm like, look, listen, like billing hates to see your boy coming. Okay. Like I promise, because I'm about to get you out of whatever contract you're in because it ain't working or you want out. I want you out too. If you don't want in, get out. Like trust me, I'm gonna make it work. Like you're not gonna be held into shit. Because I don't want that. I want someone who wants to be here.
For
And
sure.
so getting those athletes like, it is out of love and it's out of respect, but it's also out of respect to us. Like, yeah, I had this phone call the other day. I was like, hey, look, like, yeah, I'm far better than who you're working with, like leaps and bounds better. Like I'm in a whole nother atmosphere. And I said, and that is why I'm telling you that you are not ready. And that is why you were having this consultation with me, is because you know the person you are with is telling you you are ready and you're not. And I was like, so like that's I don't have to do one plus one. Like it just trust me here because the body of work, like I'm not going to let you get on stage unless it is absolutely the best you and there's nothing more we can do, right? So I don't need you, like, yes, I produce a lot of people who win. I don't need everyone to go win. I just need you to be the best you've ever seen in your entire life. And when we get done, I can look at you and say, okay, there's nothing else we can do right now. It's just time, muscle maturity, leanness, hardness, etc. All that follows. And that's what I try to embed in them. So it's like, yeah, if you're 21, 23, 25, hell, even in your 30s and you want to do one show, I'm going to try to get you on stage sooner than later.
Mm-hmm.
But I have the expectation of let's get you stage lean for the first time. Let's see if you like the sport. Let's see if you like the tanning. Like, let's just do the steps of it first, get really lean, have a new like blank slate to start on. That's why I do it. I don't like expect you first time to just go. I don't expect you to be Grayson the first time you get on stage, right? Like that's just an anomaly. But
Yeah, that's one
um,
of a kind.
yeah, but let's transition that into the coaching mistakes because I
Yeah.
think that's the deep one.
Biggest mistake young coaches make trying to grow their coaching. I think uh, there's a lot, right? And I don't think people realize like the financially, like where you have to be to do this and make a comfortable living. And everybody wants to speed run that shit. And what we tend, and we see it more and more every day from particular people, especially, but um, is they're putting the optics of income above the optics of what we're here to do, which is to serve people and change lives and produce results.
Hmm.
Right. I think we get into this money grab thing where it's like, oh, fucking, I have 3 spots available. I promise you, I promise you, I promise you, and I will promise you again. If you see anybody post that they have X amount of spots available, they are full of fucking shit. And if you're someone out there doing that, please, God, pick a different marketing tactic because we have beat this dead horse into a fucking pulp over the last 10 years as an industry.
Yeah, I saw I had an athlete, he posted something like that the other day, and I wanted so bad just to, hey, take that shit down. Like that's not as a coach, and I literally started coaching with not shit. I was doing plans on a phone. My note section, I had the Gmail. I couldn't afford a computer. I had a Gmail app and I had a notes app and a Google Docs app, and that's where I would do plans. Um, I would do it over text message, but I just cared. Like I cared about my clients. I would do whatever I could. I would, make whatever deal I could. I would just, find whatever solution I could. I would figure out like when I first went to shows, I don't know if I've spoke on this, but like Trey was my best friend, Trey Cosper. He was an expediter, and I would have athletes at shows and I would put them in the shows that he was working because he would tell the promoters like, hey, get me a bedroom with two queen beds, and I would get to go for free. I would ride with him. Like, that's how I got to go be with my athletes. Um, Eventually I got to a spot where I could, start paying for it some. But I would do anything to coach. But I loved coaching. And the more genuine and like real you are about it, it's not about money. Like when I first started, I charged $50 for training plans. Like that's what I charged. I wasn't trying to get rich. I just wanted to be a good coach. I just wanted people to do better. And over time, like that shows and that still continues. Like I don't do it for the money. Like I remember when COVID hit and I had like 9 athletes and it was like, okay, like there's that. Um, but outside of like, if I were to go back, which is exactly what I did, I all I needed was transformations. Genuine fucking transformations. I don't care what they paid. I don't care how I got them there, natural, not natural, whatever. If I could just get a good transformation and could show people, like, hey, this is what I could do. This is what I could do. And then you get word of mouth. And then it's like, I started coaching I coached a lot of like popular bar owners in Birmingham. I would do it for free, but just tell your friends, like tell anyone, just tell them, and that's how you start getting like a reputation. It wasn't for bodybuilders; it was just people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you don't see a lot of that now. You see like, oh, I'm gonna post my physique to advertise my coaching, but like you're paying me to coach you. Like you didn't do anything with your plan. Like I did it, which like I don't care. Like I get the credit when I post it. It's not about that, but like you can't post yourself bragging that you're a good coach. Like you have to have like transformations to show. Um, so I think that's a huge mistake is people focus on other avenues of it. They think that they need to have a mentor and have, all the Google sheets or the spreadsheets and this, that, and the other. Like you don't. You need people in your corner to call and ask questions for sure. But you don't have to sign up for coaching mentorships. You don't have to. And like, dude, I'm saying that knowing you offer coaching mentorships. Like
For sure.
I'm just saying it's not a necessity.
It's
Uh,
not. It's not. Um, no, I agree with you, man. I don't need my fucking spreadsheets. I don't need any of that because when I first got into coaching, it was more in the performance side of things. It was more powerlifting, Olympic lifting. Um, dude, I was paying people to try out my plans.
mhm.
I remember being a senior in high school. I paid 3 guys. Um, I paid them $20 each. I was like, can you please try this out for like 8 weeks and just tell me what it looks like how it feels, that if your numbers increased, whatever. And that's where I started. And then I helped my best friend lose 130 pounds my senior year of high school. And I was like, fuck, that's really cool. And then a couple other dudes, hey, I saw you help Matt. Can you help me? Yeah, dude, for sure. I did it for free. I didn't know you could charge fucking money for it, dude. I was just doing it for the sake of doing it, right? As I was also working with myself through my journey. Um, and then I saw a Christian Guzman video. This was pre-Alpha Elite, if this tells you anything. This was when it was CG Fitness and he was training using a storage unit. I saw him charging for coaching, and that's why I was like, you can do that?
Yeah.
And I still didn't charge because I didn't feel comfortable. But then I was like, wait, but I can make money off of this one day. And I got my NASM and I started shadowing a trainer and then this, that, and third and everything in between. But like for all that to be said, a lot of my coaching was done in my notes. It was done with a Google Doc. It was done through email. It was done through text. And sometimes it still is. I do a little bit of everything. I got my spreadsheets because I like to have for my sake and my ADHD. I need to have organization for myself. It's more for me than it is for my athletes.
Yeah.
I built those for myself. But then I've got half all my prep people, we're going by text at this point, all of them. I'm just like, hey, this is what we're doing today. Text, check in tomorrow. We'll see how we're going. And we just keep rinsing and repeating. We pull out the little sticky notes and shit, man. So it's like there's still some Chris Aceto in me. That's never going to leave.
Yeah.
Um, And the same way with mentorships. I will sit here and say it 10 toes. I have a mentorship program. You don't need it to be successful. I made it with the intention of helping people understand the do's and don'ts for lifestyle coaching. That's what it's for. You don't need it. I built it just so I could save people some heartache. And also because a dipshit that I took a mentorship from, I got scammed by. And we all know who he is. So I was like, I wanted to make something better than what he did and make it less money because that's bullshit. But that was my ego. Um, but I think too, like you don't need a mentorship, you don't need a business coach, you don't you don't need you don't need a personal assistant, you don't need any of that fucking shit. It's a fucking job. If I'm giving anybody any advice, invest into education, not NASM, not ISSA, not ACE. Go take J3U and self-study and apply it to yourself. That's where all these mistakes come from, I think. And it's to your point, I can post my physique and people go, well, that's really fucking cool. And like, yeah, I've had a hand in my transformation, but I'm not going to sit here and market it for my coaching because it's your work.
Yeah, like it's good to advertise that you're doing it, but like you also have bodies to back it up. Like, so you
100%.
have a mix of it, right? And so, but yeah, I see that a lot. And I will say this, like, you just, if you're going, because I'll have clients ask me that, hey, do you think I could get into coaching? I'm like, you know enough to tell the average person how to eat healthier, train. Like, yeah, sure, you know enough. If they're willing to pay you for that, absolutely. Like, you can take enough of what you've learned just from watching me do things to probably get someone healthier. However, are you willing to take on the risk of their health and their hormones and everything that comes along with it? Because that's the difference in contest prep coaching and like just general, I'm helping my buddy at the gym, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not saying like, yeah, if someone wants to pay you $50 to write them a diet plan, take it. Like, I'm not going to tell you not to do that. But when you step into the realm of like, this is your business and this is who you are, you have to know what the fuck you're doing. But because like there's going and that's where the education comes in and understanding that like while you may know a lot, like you just said, I just learned how to do lying leg curls. I just learned the other day something from Luke, and I was like, oh God, like why don't I think of that? Like you have to always be learning and always be evolving. Um, and you have to be willing to try stuff. You have to be willing to try stuff on yourself. You have to just I think knowledge is the number one thing that coaches are missing out on now. And there's a lot of coaches with a lot of bodies who still don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have their recipe and the recipe works, but like when you get those kind of outliers that the recipe doesn't work on and they don't know what to do, that's where you see like, oh, well, their body's just stubborn or their gear's fake, or it's like, no, you don't know how to adjust.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the art of coaching. Coaching is also like outside of diet. Diet and training, yes, like it's only so much you can do, but coaching, like genuine coaching is how can I pull the most out of my athlete? And that's what I've been working on here over the last year is like communication, um, how I deliver things, how I respond to things,
Yep.
listening, trying to find each individual's needs is going to take you much, much further just from a simple how you address the client in a communication like
Yeah.
format.
Yeah. It's I think from the outside looking in, like I love my job and I'm always going to preface that. And I had a situation with an ex client who's a fucking dipshit who like openly said, "I want to be a coach because of how you and Alex looked on show day." Right? It was just the visuals, the optics of it, which I'm like, that's insane because this job is a lot, especially when it's like I'm operating my own LLC. Not only do I need to understand everything in the realm of plan development from nutritional sciences, biomechanics, supplementation, super supplementation. I also have to understand, to your point, like sports psychology, sociology. Like I have to understand the dichotomy of leadership, and then I also have to know how to do accounting and marketing and HR shit and PR shit and all these other things. Like it's and everything in between. It's a lot to juggle if you want to be successful at it. And it's not just like it's not a 9 to 5. It's a morning to night. It's all day. It's every day, and that's why I love it because it's never ending. It's like a lot of people get into this and like, oh, dude, I just got to write a couple diets. I can just use Chat GPT and shit. It's like, dude, that's not what coaching is. Like, there is programming, which is what I was doing when I first got into this. I was programming for people, and then there's coaching, and
Yeah.
there's a massive disparity between those two. And as you get closer to coaching, the liability, the risk, and everything, and the pressure continues to escalate. Right. Um, I think the biggest thing is like, don't like if I can give any advice to anybody out there, if you can find one person who will work with you, be straight up with them, be completely transparent. Because I did it when I first started. I said, hey, I don't know everything, but I
Yeah.
know what I know, and that's where we're going to start, and we're going to learn throughout this process together. And you treat them like they are prepping for the Olympia. You give them everything. You learn through them and with them, and you produce transformation. Once you produce transformation, take your next person, and
Yeah.
now you see if you can juggle two people, and you give them the Olympia, and you still try to give the other person the Olympia. And then you produce a transformation, and then you take your third person and you rinse and repeat. Because a lot of people also don't realize scaling is a bitch if you are not prepared for it.
Hmm.
And I've not been prepared for it. I've spoken candidly about it. 2021, I took the leap to coach full time. It'd been 4 years at that point, and I grew very fast. I was hustling and bustling, giving referral deals, fucking asking for references, this, that, and the third. And I was producing results, and I grew way too fast. And I didn't have any of the backlog prepared for that, as far as client communication goes, as far as efficient check-ins goes, as far as just all that goes. I took way too much on at once, and because for me, I was like, well, I'm relying on this now as my means of living. I just took everything and anything I could get. And there got to a point at the end of 21 where I refunded 75% of my roster. I gave them all of their money back. And I started basically from scratch because I was embarrassed. I felt like I wasn't delivering anymore.
Yeah.
Right. It just felt like it was numbers. And I didn't know these people. I didn't feel like I knew these people. I didn't feel like I had the time to give to know these people. And that was a very humbling moment for me. And so from that point moving forward, I was like, I'm not going to fucking do that shit. Um, so that's another thing. Don't get ahead of yourself. Like work with one person. It can feel like a lot. You're not going to work with 40 tomorrow and know how to comfortably do that.
Yeah, it's okay to let people go. It's
Mm-hmm.
okay to tell people no.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's a like I had a very good potential person the other day from Australia. I just told no. It just wasn't going to be a good fit. But if I had to give one piece of advice to coaching, like my angle, and so like there's this book out there, it's called like positioning. Like it's about positioning within the workplace. And so to summarize, like what is, Publix? Publix's position is customer service. Walmart's position is cheap prices. Like that's, Amazon is convenience. So you have to find your position and within the field and within the workplace, in which with ours is coaching. And more importantly, you have to just, it's going to sound so lame, but you have to just genuinely be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
The more that I tried to be, not, I don't want to say someone else, the more I tried to do, like there's a reason you don't see me making reels with like the words popping up and like it's not me. Like I'm not John and Luke. Like I don't have the vocabulary to sound like super intelligent. I know everything they're saying. I know how to say it. And that's something that they actually like about me is the fact that I can take what they say and I can deliver it to more of the mainstream masses and like bro sciencey people and stuff like that. Like I can kind of like water it down some
Mm-hmm.
where, but I felt the need to sound like a professor when I spoke at times. I'm like, I don't need to do that. So like that's why you see like I wear what I wear, I talk how I talk, I post the images I post because that's me. Like
Mm-hmm.
And that is what attracts athletes to me. That's what turns athletes away from me. But like if I fake it and I'm trying to be someone that's not me, well, eventually me's gonna come out, and they're gonna like the people who signed up with me thinking I was someone else gonna be like, oh, like that's not cool. And then also I wouldn't have the people who like me being me with me. So like it's just better to just genuinely be yourself. Like that's again, we talked about last episode. That's why like I'm me. Like on you see my social media, it's confident, it's cocky, it's a little arrogant. It's just it's me, but I just turn into the volume up a little bit. Like,
Yeah,
obviously when you meet me in person, I'm super nice, respectful. I'm always courteous, gonna shake your hand, but like there's a part of me when it comes to the competitor in me, I'm going to turn that volume up a good bit. And again, I think that's what attracts people to me. And like, again, it's my motto in life is you live by the sword and you die by the sword. So what's going to bring me clients and bring me business and bring me success is also going to turn people away from me. It's also going to be reasons why I mess up at times. And I've accepted that fate.
I like that. I think it's a really beautiful thing. Um, yeah, I just don't, and I think I've very much been that way too, because like I think it's pretty easy to write people off in a certain sense. I feel as if I've been written off in the past as a coach, and so there's been times where I'm like really using big words to prove nothing. It's like saying biomechanically advantageous. I can just say it's easy, it's bullshit like that. And
Yeah.
so I had to get away from that, where I was like, you just be fucking you, because that's what people like is you. And I know all the nerdy bullshit, but it doesn't mean I have to give you a dissertation for everything we do. We can just do it and see what's up. So I think that's what it is, man. I think it's like sometimes it's almost like people try to take themselves too seriously because they think that's what's going to attract people. And at the end of the day, like I don't give two flying fucks to watch a reel about whatever fear mongering topic of the day that is. Like I want to see results
Yeah.
and clients and results and results. Let me say it one more time, because some people just don't fucking do that. I'm like, why? How do you not? I
Yeah.
digress.
The trend now, and so that so the coaches don't fall into the trends. Right now, the trend in coaching is I'm going to create a problem
Mhm.
that which is lately we're going to diagnose you with, the SIBO, gut dysbiosis, all
As
this.
we are not medical professionals and this is not a practice. Anyways,
Yeah. And so we're going to do that, and then we're going to like be the solution. And so like it's pretty simple solutions like when people have those things occur. If you genuinely have to repopulate someone's microbiome, like genuinely fucking do it, it's 6 months.
mm-hmm.
Easy. So if you're with a coach and it's taken, I don't know, 14 days and your bloat's gone, you didn't have SIBO. You didn't
Yeah,
have true gut dysbiosis. You had a little inflammation. You probably had some food sensitivities, things like that. We can get to that. We can find that out pretty quick.
yeah.
But like true, like fucked up GI stuff is a long process. Um, I digress. That is the trend now, is like, here's your problem. I'm the fix. I fixed it. Now you're with me forever. It's like CrossFit. You take fat people, they go do CrossFit, they start losing weight. Like, oh my God, CrossFit saved my life. No, you moved more.
Your
That's why
heart rate's
CrossFit
going
took
down.
off. And then now you have a community, and here you are, and CrossFit's your savior. Right? It's the same thing with coaching. Oh my God, I was just so bloated and I couldn't digest anything, and I was just retaining water. And then I got with this coach, and here I am, and my gut's fixed. It's like, well, yeah, like you took out chicken, you added in some, high omegas and some leafy greens, and here you are. You feel better. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, you started to rinse your rice and chew a little bit better. We taught you habits.
Yeah,
Like,
but I don't rely on that. Like I don't like when clients tell me, and that's the thing, like if you really want to go into client problems, like I can pull up all the ailments that I've worked with and cases that I've overcame, and like there's some in-depth shit out there. That like, but I don't go online and brag about it because I don't want to fix your problems. I want to put you on stage. I want to get athletes, make them good, and put you on stage. If I wanted to fix your problems, I would go work as a registered dietitian at a hospital and plug me up in there. But I don't
yeah,
want to do that. Now, I will fix your problems because problems are going to arise, but that's not my tactic to get you in. So, coaches out there, beginning coaches, just be yourself, be good, be knowledgeable. I say sign up for J3U level one. I don't get a penny from that. I am so far well, I'm not so far dissociated. I'm about to start teaching some lectures on there. That's the point. I'm so far disassociated from getting paid from that right now. So, like me saying that that is the best foundation of coaching education from how to do check ins, from how to set up a diet, like it is the best. Like, we
Hmm.
are the standard for a reason.
Hmm.
So, like, if you want to coach, I highly recommend it. Even myself, I learn stuff from it all the time because
Yep.
John updates it, and then you get a certification, and then next thing you know, a year later, you have like 33% completed because John just had a field day with it, right?
Yeah.
So, um, but yeah,
It's
that
worth it.
yeah,
Um, yeah, put more time into self study and application than you do into marketing and optics in the beginning, because then it'll produce optics when you have transformations. That's what it started with for all of us. Is like I guarantee you can think of whoever the transformation was where you felt momentum, like
mhm.
the tipping point. I can tell you which one mine was, and I was like, oh shit, okay, cool, cool, cool. Like, and that's what it takes, and we continue to evolve and level up. But it's don't fall into the fear mongering shit, because you're basically telling on yourself that you don't know what you're doing, right?
Yeah,
And don't fall into this bullshit too, where it's like, let me spend more time making myself look busy than just like being busy. Like, there's always shit to learn, always.
yeah, man, my my client Walt literally won the most prestigious overall in amateur bodybuilding in the history of amateur bodybuilding that you can get. And I still had people say, yeah, but it's Walt. Yeah, he was going to win it anyway. Yeah, he was going to go pro anyway.
Yeah, you're just a
Yeah.
bikini coach, Alex.
I didn't get credit from that. Like, it was just like, oh yeah, it's understood. Like, so you have to deliver over and over and over again, and you still have to deliver. Like, even this year, like I've delivered every fucking year since 2021, really 2020, but we'll just say 2021, and I still have pressure to deliver because you start slacking and then it's like, well, he's lost it, or oh, see, it was just a fluke, or he wasn't that good, or whatever. But like, so it's not just delivering one time. You have to do it again and again and again, and that's where a real coach stands out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's it, really. I don't have any. That was a beautiful closing statement for that one. I've got time for like one more, and then I got to bounce.
Let's do
Do you
it.
want? What do you want to do? Wide waist, metabolism, or imposter syndrome?
Let's save the other two. Let's do the wide waist and like obliques. Yeah.
Cool. So the one we got was wide waisted athletes and how often they should isolate abs and obliques. Um, I'm going to use Levi as my example because Levi is a wider waisted guy.
Mhm.
Um, what I find is it's taking the Nick Walker approach where it's like we're going to just make our abdominis rectus, we're just going to make it as like dense and hard and separated as possible. We do not train our obliques at all.
Mhm.
I've never had him do a Russian twist or a fucking anything of the sorts to isolate his obliques. I've just had him training strictly abs and vacuums for the last 2 years now, and optically, it's helped him as far as development goes. Because I told him I was like, we can't make your waist any smaller, we can't make your hips more narrow, but we can make this a strength from muscularity perspective to allow it to stand out, and then we just have to build everything else around it.
Yeah, I had a 32-inch waist on stage, but my abs were disgusting. They were great. My serratus was great. All I'm a believer in on ab training is I do hanging leg raises, weighted rope crunches, and decline sit-ups or planks. Those are the three. That's what's going to get you. I never do the little plate loaded. That doesn't do anything. You'll get more out of your abs coughing and sneezing than you will taking a 45-pound plate and just tucking to the side. Swear to God. Or
You'll
go throw up and you'll get more out of your abs.
you'll get more from doing a dumbbell row wrong.
Yes. Yeah.
Like,
So there's a lot that like, but yes, I'm with you. You need to develop abdominals, like good abdominals. You need bigger quads, bigger shoulders, and bigger lats. So if your waist is wide, well, you just get everything else wider. Um,
that's what I did when I was fat. I was like, well, if I have a really big back, maybe people won't notice that I got a big tummy. And then I
Yeah.
lost the tummy too. And then I had the back.
Yeah, your waist is like a bikini girl waist. It's insane. Vacuums, like just
Like,
not for the sake of doing a vacuum, but just for waist control, midsection control. Um, don't overeat in the off season. That's another huge thing. Like you don't need to be. What happens is we get so, which you see it with like some of my athletes, like they'll get so comfortable, like just having that baby belly that like they're just chilling with the baby belly, and I'm bad about it too. But like you need to keep that tight, like at all times. Um, that's another one. Same thing, like it's very little and minute, and I have no like, all I have is anecdotal evidence. Well, when you're leg pressing and you do that, like the big like balloon belly, like
yeah.
so Trey Cosper used to have me, um, I would breathe out on the way down. Like,
Yeah.
and so it was miserable. Or he would just like, I would be doing it, and he would like touch my stomach, and I would get so pissed off. But it keeps you from like getting that huge like rib cage expansion, just blowing out that stomach.
Who
Again,
Cedric McMillan said that's
mhm,
how he squatted. He
yeah.
would intentionally exhale on the way down.
Again, and like, please, guys listening, don't quote me on that. Please don't go tell John that because it's poor for performance, right? It's piss poor for performance.
Well, there's a difference between because we can look at a brace differently of like, yeah, we can full belly breathe it and like really pull out our stomach so that we have like a little bit of a rebound, or you can like pull in, you know what I mean? And just pull it
Yeah.
in, like trying to do a crunch.
And so the things I think, like if you're doing a leg press and you can't get knees to chest without your gut in the way, well then our gut's too big. But that's what you'll see them like like springboard their knees off their stomach, and it's easier. But like now go do it and keep that waist tight. It's little things like that. But abs are made in the kitchen. Like you get to lean enough body fat, like you will have abdominals, but you need like built abs because like when you are lean, they're either going to be really shallow, not a lot of depth to them. They look like a little Abercrombie model, or you're going to look like Nick Walker and like the blocky, NFL combine winning player, like that type abs. And that's what you want.
And the last thing I'll end with too is like with any movement that you're doing, like there's going to be a link in the chain that can break. So if
Mhm.
you're strengthening your abs and training it like any other muscle group, you're less likely to run into that being the link in the chain that breaks.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're only as lean as your fattest body part. So like if you tend to hold fat around your midsection and your low back, well, like, fat is going to typically kind of hang around more of the like areas with less muscle tissue. So like develop more muscle there and you should be okay. Um, you know, so yeah, try that out. That should help.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Well, everyone, thank you for listening. Unfortunately for you guys, fortunately for me, I have to go train. If you can leave us a 5-star review, if you are on Spotify listening or watching, and share with a friend. If you can like, comment, share, and subscribe on our YouTube channel, it would mean the world to both of us as we're trying to reach as many people as we can. Thank you again to everyone who participates every week in asking us questions. Makes it a lot more fun and a lot more exciting. And until next time, thank you for listening to the Coaches Union.